All right, let's tackle one of the most important and honestly most confusing numbers in your entire financial life, your credit score. It can feel like this big secret, but I promise you, it's not. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it all works. I mean, does that three-digit number ever just feel like a random grade that has way too much power? You know, one minute it's up, the next it's down, and it seems to decide whether you can get that car, that apartment, or even a new phone. If you've ever felt that way, trust me, you are not alone. Hey, welcome to BrightBytes. By the end of this explainer, that feeling of mystery is going to be completely gone. You'll know the exact formula, you'll know the rules of the game, and you'll have a clear plan to take control. So let's crack this code together. So here's the most important thing to get right off the bat. Your credit score isn't random. It's not a judgment of you as a person, it's just math. It's a number that gets calculated using a very specific formula with 5 main ingredients. Let's break them down. And here it is. This is the recipe for a FICO score, which is the one most lenders use. Now, what jumps out at you immediately? Not all these pieces are created equal, right? A whopping 65% of your entire score comes down to just 2 things, your payment history and how much money you owe. So let's start with the biggest one. Let's kick things off with the undisputed champion of your credit score, making up a massive 35%. This one is, simply put, your report card. It really is this simple. Lenders want to know if you pay your bills on time. Your history of doing that is the best way for them to guess what you'll do in the future. But here's what's so critical to understand. This is super sensitive. Get this, just one payment that's reported as 30 days late can cause a major hit to your score. So how do you nail this every single time? Easy. Let technology do the work for you. The simplest way to build a perfect payment history is to make it automatic. Set up autopay for at least the minimum payment on everything. Or if you're not comfortable with that, set up alerts on your phone's calendar. The goal is to make missing a payment literally impossible. Okay, let's talk about the second biggest piece of the puzzle, coming in at 30% of your score. Now, this isn't just about your total debt. It's actually more about how much of your available credit you're using at any given time. And that brings us to a really important term you've got to know, credit utilization. So think of it this way. If you have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and you've got a $3,000 balance on it, your utilization is 30%. Lenders look at this number for each card you have and for all your cards combined. So what's the number to aim for? Well, the golden rule you'll always hear is to keep your utilization below 30%. But you want to know the real pro tip? People with the absolute best credit scores, they often keep their utilization in the low single digits, like under 10%. A high utilization rate can make it look like you're stretched a little too thin financially. Okay, so we've covered the 2 heavy hitters. They're the stars of the show. Now let's quickly go through the supporting cast. These next 3 factors make up the last 35% of your score, and they add some really important color to your financial picture. All right, let's unpack these last 3 because they matter more than you'd think. First up, at 15%, is the length of your credit history. This is exactly why you always hear people say, don't close your oldest credit card. A longer history shows you're stable. Next, at 10%, is your credit mix. Lenders just like to see that you can handle different types of credit responsibly. You know, things like credit cards and installment loans, like for a car. And finally, also at 10%, is new credit. This is all about how often you're applying for new stuff. If you apply for 5 different credit cards in a single month, it can look a little desperate. The key is just to apply for credit when you actually need it. Now we have got to bust a huge myth. So many people are scared to check their own credit because they think it'll hurt their score. Let me be super clear. That is 100% false. When you check your own score, it's called a soft inquiry. It has 0 impact. None. It's only when a lender pulls your credit for an application that it's a hard inquiry, and that can cause a tiny, temporary dip. So please check your score. So we've cracked the code, we've busted a myth. What do you actually do with all this info? Let's boil everything down into a super simple, straight-to-the-point action plan. This is it. If you remember anything from this, remember these 3 things. Number 1, pay every single bill on time. Automate it. It's the biggest thing you can do. Number 2, keep your credit card balances low. That utilization number is a huge signal to lenders. And number 3, check your credit reports. You would be shocked how often mistakes pop up, and nobody's going to fix them for you. And speaking of that last point, you have rights. federal law guarantees you a free copy of your credit report from each of the 3 major bureaus once every single year. The only official government-approved place to get them is annualcreditreport.com. When you get your reports, they're going to come from these 3 companies: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And it is so important to check all 3. Why? Because different lenders might use different bureaus, and the information isn't always identical across them. Remember, if you find a mistake on any of them, you have the right to dispute it and get it corrected for free. At the end of the day, here's what it's all about. Your credit score is not a test grade on your worth as a person. It's a tool. And when you manage it the right way, as this quote says, it's a tool that can unlock major goals and help you build a better life. The blueprint is yours now. You know the 5 factors, you've got the 3-step plan. The mystery is officially over. So I want to know, what's your first move going to be? Are you going to go set up autopay right now? Are you going to check your utilization? Or are you heading straight to annualcreditreport.com? Let me know down in the comments.